Hello there, my name is Woody Jones, and today I'm here to tell you what an absolute piece of shit Andy Dick is. I'm doing this in direct response of my favorite podcaster, the man, the myth, the legend, the Foot King himself, the vape god, arch nemesis of Oliver 3. Oliver Tree, the great Ethan Klein of H3H3. Andy's real name is Andrew Thompson or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But the point is he picked the stage name Andy Dick. So at least he knows who he is. His Wikipedia page lists him as an American comedian, actor, television film producer, and musician. I'm sure you guys have heard all of his hits. And let's be honest, the only thing that this guy has ever produced was a bag of cocaine. This man clearly has edited his own Wikipedia page. This man got his first break on the Ben Stiller show, so the next time you see Ben Stiller, be sure to thank him. Now, I'm not here to talk about his lack of career. I'm here to talk about what a piece of shit he is and how he could possibly be the worst American in America. I would literally rather hang out with Donald Trump than Andy Dick. At least Trump can be funny sometimes. Death and mayhem follow this man wherever he goes. His first incident with his death was in 1999 when he partied all weekend with actor David Strickland, who promptly hung himself following that weekend of partying. Now, we can't be for sure if the manic depression was brought on by rapid drug use or because he had to hang out with Andy Dick. Not 1 month after that incident, Andy Dick wrapped his car around a phone pole with cocaine and alcohol in his system. It looks like when he actually damaged himself, that was enough wake-up call for him to kind of clean it up for a little bit. I guess his friend hanging himself wasn't enough, but he didn't really get in any more trouble until about 2004. In 2004, that's when he happened to expose himself in a McDonald's, where they have play places and where kids usually are. Then in 2005, he exposed himself on a stage in Edmonton. No charges were filed because nudity isn't strictly illegal during a performance, but I don't know if you know anything about comedy. Maybe I'm not a comedic genius, but I don't think pulling your dick out on stage is a good way to get laughs. Later that year, he groped Pamela Anderson multiple times on live TV during her roast.
This is all standard procedure.
Okay.
This is just a clinical adjustment.
Okay.
These boobs, these are my creation. These are my creation. And by the way, this is an excellent hand exercise. You see how they point straight ahead, a little up? Like they're going to take out the Hubble telescope? All me. All me. You could place a glass of wine on one, and I could personally jump on the other, and the wine would not spill. No, seriously, you guys, seriously, don't worry. She can't feel any of this. She can't feel... Come here.
You drooled on me.
Hang on, medical emergency.
He also tried to grope Courtney Love, who promptly slapped him across the face, which is the only thing I've ever been able to give kudos to Courtney Love for. Then in 2006, another comedy club incident happened where he called the whole stage the N-word with a hard R. Not that it really matters. In 2007, he was forcefully removed from the Jimmy Kimmel Show for feeling up Ivanka Trump. Security literally had to drag him off stage because he was being so gropey.
I have no idea what he's doing behind me.
He's perfectly still.
I'm like trying to be very.
You don't play up the glitter on your legs.
Oh, you don't.
Andy, don't touch Ivanka.
Oh wait, did I say I was single and then I had a boyfriend?
Andy, please don't. Donald Trump will kill both of us.
Actually, prior to my coming on the show, I think my father made you promise to defend my honor. And this is before he knew Andy would be on it with me.
He never would have allowed you to come here if he'd known Andy was here. Andy.
Sloppy kiss
All right,
right
that's
on the
all.
lips.
Andy, give everybody a Get him by his feet. Get him by his feet.
I do apologize for the quality of that video. I had to pay by pixel for it. Fast forward to July 2008, where he forcefully ripped a 17-year-old girl's blouse down, was promptly arrested, and had Xanax on him that he did not have a prescription for. Again, in January 2010, he was arrested on sexual battery charges, where he not only groped a bartender, but he also groped one of the patrons at the bar that he was at. In October 2010, it's alleged that he exposed himself at Cafe Audrey, which is an upscale restaurant. I've never been invited, but where I like to eat, I don't see dicks. In 2017, Dick was fired from 2 separate movies, Raising Buchanan and Vampire Dad, for rampant sexual abuse. But don't worry, he told The Hollywood Reporter he would lick nobody else's face from now on. Then recently, on June 2021, he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon, where he threw a metal chair at his lover. The thing I find most damning personally about Andy Dick, though, is his involvement in Hartman and his wife's murder-suicide. Many of you may know that Hartman's wife was a recovering addict, and at a Christmas party, Dick decided to give her a little bit of cocaine. Now, some of you may argue he may not have known that that would lead to the murder-suicide, and you're probably right, but he probably did know that giving drugs to a recovering addict probably wasn't a good idea. It would be the same as if a heroin dealer dealt heroin to one of his customers and they died. We charge him with second-degree murder. No way the heroin dealer would have known that that hit was going to overdose his customer, but he could have been pretty damn sure that selling heroin to a heroin addict would have resulted in negative consequences the same way that Andy would have. And I'd probably be more forgiving if he didn't repeatedly taunt John Lovitz for it, who is a good friend of Hartman's, who promptly smashed Andy Dick's face into a bar, which is the best thing Lovitz has done since Little Nicky. These are the reasons we don't know Andy Dick from movies such as... So fucking, I implore you, do not have this man on your podcast. He's not a goof. He's not a gaff. He's a predator who's addicted to attention, and his attention-seeking behavior is the reason he acts like this. If you give him more attention, you're just encouraging him to act more like this. The best thing for Andy Dick, personally, is if we all just left him alone and let him fade into obscurity. That way he can actually maybe help himself. Maybe his 21st stint in rehab will be the time. Who knows? Anyway, peace and love. Please do not let Andy Dick on your show. Now, you may be able to tell this is my first YouTube video. I hope to make many more. If you do like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll come up with new subjects to talk about. This is Woody Jones, and this has been a Woody Jones expose.